teammates, I think, again, just spins in a little exciting narrative that we can follow through. It'll be interesting to watch his individual performance against his friends.
Yeah, last of the underdogs take to the stage to try and spot into the grand finals. KOLESIE, their run started in the closed qualifiers, had to make it the whole way here, took down Focus in that opening game, but now their toughest competition, Sinners, soon to be major bound, playing with a little bit of pressure off, but they'd love a title before they get to that big event. Going to Dust2 as Sinners take long control early, leave middle open, 2 players in towards B, smoked doors for the T side as they go through the motions of getting the default control.
Yeah, what you get out of this KOLESIE team as well is a lot of high octane T side rounds. They're very punchy. They play some very fast Counter-Strike, and if you're not prepared for it, it can certainly catch you off guard. Triple setup over towards A. B-Stick has got a flash he can deploy at a moment's notice, but KOLESIE, with 1 minute 15 on the clock, they're just going to pop.
Yeah, smokes go down. Pretty clear the commitment's coming, and B-Stick gets a shot to the side of the dome. That's his own utility. Kissarek's dealing with this crawl down, but he's lost that support out towards long. Still turns to find the kill. So he can control this ground, but the bomb goes down. Player advantage for the T's. Both Shock and Stress on move through mid doors. A double setup in towards short to try and deal with them. They're just going to swing, they do, and it's to their detriment. Stress on gets that kill. Remember, Exist is still low. And now they start to move forward. Kissarak holding his ground, but only for a moment. Critical kill from Friend to give some space to work with, but it doesn't last for long. Headshots raining through. Shot gets another, but by Laney hits him on the jump up, and KOLESIE take the pistol.
Yeah, it gets a little bit scary there, Sinners. They show their strength, and I like the fact that KOLESIE, they want to double swing. They want to take the fight on towards Sinners. They're showing that they're not scared. They're playing their brand of Counter-Strike, and it does nearly come back to haunt them, but they still stick with it throughout the rest of the round. Stresson tries his best alongside Shock, but nice shot. And Beleni. We're seeing this jump spot continuously now for KOLESIE, just trying to see if anyone progresses in towards lower. Instead, it would be themselves that now occupy this space, forced back for Sinners. As they continue this mode of thinking in this event. Xista's got a Galil. There's an AK as well for Friend, and yet again, with 1 minute 20 on the clock, KOLESIE have got a lot of room.
Don't necessarily want to commit into the short side, not with this 4-player lean towards A. They will drop this mid-smoke. I'll draw some eyes, and it might just be a split onto B, which would be the perfect call for the moment. Shot completely alone on the B side. Good luck, my friend. Drops the flashbang out, just looking to see if he can net a kill, but can't connect that shot. Had a second to line it up, but a bit too tricky. That one connects, but quickly Exist is in the window for the trade. He's still got Innocent lurking in towards mid doors. This should be a save to try and run it back into the next.
Ooh. Okay, somehow Innocent wins out that fight on B-Stick. He gets dinked initially, and you think, okay, well, that kill's going to come in. That won't spur the retake, but it will at least provide a little bit of room for Sinners to get out. It somewhat has done that, but at the cost of their in-game leader. I like the decision, again, out of KOLESIE. They're very much forward-focused. They know exactly what they want to do, and they conduct it immediately. They don't really give Sinners time to get set up in any of these rounds. Love the call to go mid to B. Sharp shot from Shock. Instant trade because of the space that has been allowed here by Sinners only having that one player over towards the B and the mid side. Back-to-back rounds, a success story. Now for KOLESIE, we get to see Sinners just with this saved weaponry, trying to inflict some more damage, but there's a lot more eyes, I think, wandering over to round number 4, because that's when we can get both guns from both teams.
Still a chance to do some damage here, though. Nades, mostly dodged, but half HP closer, you'll fall back. Mystic has a little bit of a look with the USP. I like that. Doesn't have much to lose, so he gets the information. There's not the commitment here. Means that they can have bodies move elsewhere. That's going to be in towards short. Spec playing close to mid doors, has that MP9. It's these two SMGs that we're looking to. StressOns will get a chance very shortly. It looks like a lot of bodies moving his way. Swing just comes out. Beastic with the USP gets the kill. In fact, the SMG goes wanting. It's the pistols that come up with two. Unless Kissarak can get something crazy from this angle, feels like the job's done, and in fact he'll step back into the flames. Modo's already looking for a way out. He'll get hunted down by Innocent, so simple enough. Not exactly how I thought that short play would pan out, but KOLESIE happy with the outcome regardless.
Yeah, you expect the SMG to at least get one of those kills. In fact, it comes up empty-handed, but brilliant double molly. The fact that they're also pre-aiming the jump up for Kissarak just means all bases are covered. And even when Sinners try and weave in a little bit of acceleration, KOLESIE prepared. They love to take these gunfights, especially on a map like D2. But here we go. We've got everything. Modo with an AWP as well for Sinners. And it's going to be an immediate punch over towards this B bomb site. They might just go through the smoke, and that could be to their detriment. KOLESIE will at least trade out shock. Modo is here, but a smoke lands in his face, and Molly in towards the window. Can he see over the top? He can. He steps into the flames, and he's able to get rid of KOLESIE. Oh, and Innocent gets punished by Beastic. 4v2 immediately, and the bomb is only just being planted.
You can't really blame Innocent for that. Why is someone still holding this long door smoke when the bomb site's being taken? Can't believe it. Beastic getting that kill more or less locks the round in. Innocent could have been the closer coming through from middle. Instead, leaves it onto Friend and Exist. Molly timing is fantastic in towards window. Let's slow them down. This clock is ticking. The kit's in the site, so it can be recovered. They're just going to try and overwhelm with the numbers, but Exist is playing around the smoke, being such a nuisance. But he might be able to deny the defuse. Comes them down to the final second, and I don't think they've got it. Oh my goodness, even with the number advantage, it's not enough, and only Kissarak lives.
Well done from Exist. He just knows the only way to win that round is if he just goes for an individual moment. Sidesteps two of them round the smoke, goes through the back lines, and he's able to get the most important kill of the lot. The one on the diffuser that was just about to enter that smoke. That would have been impossible at that moment for Exist. Really important trade from KOLESIE to enable the site. This was a 4 versus 2 that KOLESIE are able to take away. Sort of the back of Exist making that play. He was so instrumental on Dust2 for KOLESIE against Focus. StressOns spotted in towards lowers, but it might not matter. He's found a double immediately, and Sinners go aggressive, and they're rewarded.
That works out so well for StressOn because the contact comes from short at the same time, and eyes are focused on that fight. So then he swings, and sure, they're kind of ready for it, but that adjustment of the crosshair doesn't come, and Kissarak best Innocent. This one looking a bit better for Sinners. Risky business, grabbing that AK, but a little reward. Cheeky boost. Let's have a look. I don't think Kissarak's going to overextend, though. Not with a 5-on-2 advantage. He doesn't need to budge, so I don't think this boost is going to net anything.
I just like the animagraph update. You can just see like the legs moving through the wall. It just looks and just feels so much like Go. Good job, Valve. 35 seconds. I don't even think you're going to attempt anything in this round if you're KOLESIE. You hold on to the AWP, or at least I thought you were going to hold on to the AWP. 25 seconds. Okay, Friend's just going to park himself in the corner, catch out Kissarak. But at least that's confirmation in the round for Sinners that this will be a save. Oh, should have been a save. Now Beleni is just going to grab the AWP and run away once the time expires. He's got to be careful he doesn't die after it.
I don't think Modo is the player that can really stop this, though.
Did the nade push the walk forward?
Oh, he's actually not going to drop down and get it. I guess he doesn't want to die at the time for sure this time. So it's a good damage. Only that AK saved. At least his money means he's not completely out of whack. And in fact, they're going to force into it. No loss bonus built up, of course. You can see that contact being taken from short. StressOn swings, simple stuff. they can get 2 in a row, then KOLESIE will be in the dumpster. They want to fight long, a lot of bodies to deal with. They're going to have to clear all these angles, and they do. Still, Stresson gets 1 for the second. How does that kill go that way? KOLESIE gets 2 with a single point of health. Unreasonable performance. He just never stops swinging. Now Shock and Modo have to put this together.
And that is the exact way in which KOLESIE love to take things. Just on the initiative, death ball approach out towards long. As you say, brilliant trades. Smoke is going to land and block off KOLESIE. They're still going to smoke long anyway. Modo's really hoping for an opportunity, and he'll get given one. A break on the smoke, a sharp shot onto Friend. Puts this back into an even numbers game.
That's an unbelievable shot. A flick at the headshot angle. And now with 1 HP, Innocent's just left KOLESIE out towards long. See what he can do. This is just going to hope that this smoke that's thrown out is going to keep these 2 players here, and it will. That smoke and then a disengage and then maybe into hold middle. Let Innocent walk in, get the bomb down. There's a kid on Shock, but they're going to be really far away from this, and they don't have confirmation on that damage done. The bomb goes down. This is going to go in to hold the doors. Oh, sorry, to hold B tunnels. No utility for the CTs.
Yeah, good flash. That allows Innocent to relocate. And his angle, cleared by Modo. So now it is just a 1 HP close. Maybe he can best the AWP, but it's the Shock rifle that you're worried about. And Modo just jumps into the site with the USP. He'll find a third, and Sinners are able to get back-to-back rounds, but it comes ever so close.
Surprising angle adopted there from Innocent, to be honest. Very exposed to those doors. Obviously not anticipating Modo can hit such a quick shot, but he was being thorough on those clears. It's one you're always going to consider. This entry out towards long. Remarkable stuff, but Modo, brilliant. Look at that. Exceptional flick. And the clear, thorough hero of this round. That's 2 in a row for Sinners, and even with the bomb plant, KOLESIE have to eco.
Oh, hello. That's information going both ways, but that is Stresson with the weapon advantage, and he knows he's being closed in upon by Lenny, able to grab him. And they know about B-Stick as well. B-Stick just needs to get out of there. They'll trade incendiaries, bottle of flame. Now Carpet's short. That's a great nade. Brilliant. Onto both KOLESIE and Exist. It makes the rifle a little bit less potent, but Exist doesn't care. He'll take matters into his own hands, and now it needs to be another Modo moment by Lenny in towards the mid doors, but smoked off at the pass. Another incendiary reigns in. And the difficulty for KOLESIE is, sure, you've now been able to leave, but you've left the most important piece of the round. The bomb is just stuck on catwalk.
You'd love this position with the C4. It would give you a lot of options, even without the armor. Picking up this M4 gives you a chance. Finding one more kill already feel fantastic. Sinners' economy not quite flourishing. This is the only option left to them. Going out through long, 30 seconds. They do have to get a move on. I think Shock just standing in the open is going to be difficult to deal with, and, well, Friend will find him. Long range, the M4 looking for the shot. Can't quite find him. But now you found these kills, and Friend has a chance into the 1-on-2. Time limited. Flash comes over, it's perfect. He ducks into the corner, and Modo, USP in hand, just runs him down.
And he plays it brilliantly as well, Modo, because before he actually goes for that peek, he waits for Shock. So he just disengages. He knows the time is low anyway. So if you reduce the risk of the 1v1, or at least if you have the 1v1, it is because of a flashbang, that's absolutely fine. Sparrow immediately calling a pause. He just wants to reset the situation because KOLESIE thrive off of momentum. And now you've just given it back in towards Sinners. You won that 2v4. You potentially were going to steal the rest of these rounds away. You were shaping up to have a really good first half. You still can have one, don't get me wrong. But Sinners are now back. They're feeling themselves. And sure, that situation right there in the previous came right down to the wire, but they are able to hold on. They aren't able to trip over any of the little tricks that KOLESIE were pulling out. So free on the spin, the AWP back out. It actually exists that potentially has got the peak to go for something. It's long.
All right, gonna give him the reins, see if he can find an opener. Doesn't look like he'll be given a fight. Kisarek playing a more passive line, doesn't give that open, and Stressan, he's loving it down here in lower tunnels. This time it's off the back of a B-stick push towards top middle. He's not going to step around this corner, at least not yet. I'm sure there's a whole lot of information for the CTs. You've not seen anything top mid, nothing lower B. Long's got to be a concern.
Yeah, that's why their smoke comes up with the flashbang as well. And that's just going to hold them at bay, or at least you think. But actually, KOLESIE are just going to swing off the back of it. Kisarek catches wind. Doesn't drop the molly immediately. Instead, he'll use it to prevent progression. But KOLESIE just wait. They know they can get a lot of utility out of this, and they're just going to take their time, but the spam is brilliant out of Kisarek. Innocent's dropped immediately, and now even more utility and reinforcement will enter long.
And you've got no other options at this point for the T side. You've got no bailout. Sinners have cleared in towards B and middle, so they're going to just keep having the reinforcements here. It's just a commitment in, hoping they can frag their way through. Crawling past this smoke, KOLESIE gets over this molly. Destined for Gandalf. That's going to be annoying for B-Stick. Although it actually, no, it misses the mark. Sorry, it's one in towards site itself. Washing out that position, so B-Stick gets to stay in that cubby, swings out as well. And bomb desperately being planted. No utility to disrupt it, so it does go down, but so does exist. And now it's a 3-on-5. KOLESIE the only one close towards this ramp. Friends desperately looking. That's the kill onto Kisarek. Still considering Gandalf. And spots the shoulder of another. Looking for these fights. Quick flick doesn't come through, and shock does from Long. A brilliant double. And KOLESIE left with 3 HP, surely to be overwhelmed. He's hitting a headshot. But this is too much to ask for. Oh my goodness, it comes down to the 1v1. But Modo, again, with the sidearm, gets it done.
Oh, how many times is it going to get so close for Sinners in that situation? That's another one in which Shock just alleviates so much pressure. Surely that retake is always going to be destined for success. And sure it is, but KOLESIE makes them think about it, makes them pay. With so many key shots, there's just too many players to contend with. I was actually really worried about Kisarek. He gets dropped by Friend immediately, but he only had 10 bullets when he jumped up on towards that box. Doesn't end up mattering. All okay, crisis averted for Sinners, but KOLESIE are making them work hard for every single one of these rounds and keeping their economy in check.
Fast, really fast. Music actually maybe helped out by the fact that he flubbed that molly. Prevents a wide swing coming out, and then he's able to hold on for 2. What could have been disastrous, he's able to just about maintain control.
Brilliant flash as well, because he throws it shallow enough, so when they're peeking into him, they just get full blind, so he's able to get that second peek. KOLESIE exist and Innocent now. Again, the only space they've really got is over towards the catwalk. Maybe you can boost up, but oh, it's being accounted for. Modo, does he look back on the line? Yes, he does. Does Exist ever jump up? No, instead, it is just a nade on the smoke. They're aware of the tricks, our Sinners. Modo will get rid, of both elements of that boost. Now Innocent is all that remains. He's full blinded. He's on the edge of the smoke. And he hasn't got any help. You need it. 1v5 now turned 1v3, but he's walking wounded, limping in towards this bomb site, and he needs to grab the bomb at the first port of call. They might have even dropped in towards CT. 30 seconds left. New objective. Now for the in-game leader, just to try and live. Just try and hold on to this AK-47. But as soon as the clock elapses, you're going to get the harsh reality that Sinners have won 5 rounds in a row. And KOLESIE have been struggling to deal with the amount of pressure and the amount of resistance they've been putting forward here on this defense.
Yeah, Goodness, they might even be hunted here. I don't know if Shock saw him. Doesn't look like it based on his movement.
Counter-terrorists win.
Maybe an AK that he can scoop up. Make sure no one's home. Brilliant round coming out. Beastic, great double, but Moto, brilliant stuff. Anticipating that boost, the break. And I think when the booster got killed, that bomb fell off his back right down into CT. You see that flashbang just lands at the feet of Friend, makes that trade impossible. Whoops. Tell you what, Moto's round swing percentage is going to be something special after this map.
Yep. That's so true.
He's having a fantastic time. So many critical kills.
His teammates are helping him out too. This is a bit more of a heavier investment here for KOLESIE. They got the Hero AK on Innocent that's been saved over. You've got the Tech 9s as well. It could be a pop in towards this B bomb site that has worked for them before. But as soon as the lurk smoke is put forward, a molly and another counter smoke from Stressan enters the equation. Flashbang over, but no commitment. He's just ready, waiting to receive, and he's got Shock in tow.
Does feel like they're going to go onto this on a second pump with these two players in towards middle. Counter smoke lands at a good time. Innocent with that AK starts to scale up, but he's lost his help, and now he's lost his life. And there's just no ability to commit out through the tunnels with that smoke and Stressan watching. So you can see the idea of the round here, but I don't know whether it was a break on the smoke or what, but losing Exist made that very hard for Innocent.
It was a great flash as well. Stressan in that corner throws it over the top of the doors that allows Shock to peek out and deal with the mid portion of the mid to B crunch from KOLESIE. Kisarek now boosted and get the fatal blow on Beleni. And Modo, oh, maybe has got another opportunity. This USP has been so deadly. Beastic will get rid of Close-2 and the bomb can't even be planted. Kisarek will lock it in. Now everyone from Sinners is coming online, getting meaningful kills. And what has been a stressful situation when it comes to the half buys, with KOLESIE at least getting a bomb down, making things a little bit more chaotic. This is the most efficient round we've seen so far out of the defense.
A brilliant run. Started slow, they're on the trot. They're in full command. Modo, not going to overextend. Knows that Friend fired off that shot down Sui.
Oops.
He had a smoke just to get away. That's confirmation of his presence, I think, for Modo.
I think that one missed, to be honest. But at least Modo now has the luxury of just peeking this angle deeply. As he can't get spotted by a player maybe progressing. They're going through the motions now, KOLESIE, but it feels like they are floundering just a little. When the initial plan doesn't work, the backup mid-round is sometimes something that eludes them quite a lot. We are starting to see that take shape here towards the tail end of Dust2, especially on their offensive half. A regrouping, a reset of the situation in towards short and an exec. That will come in a good timing, actually, because Modo's technically the only one here. Sure, Kisarek is with him, but it is a very far away rotate, and there's 3 on B.
Thought maybe it was going to be a fake out to a B finish, given they have that lurk, but now that lurk comes over. With 30 seconds, it's clear the intent. Modo mentioned the impact he's been having in these rounds. He's normally the closer. In this one, he's going to be called upon to keep them at bay as they come into his bomb site. He's ready for this drop down, trying to avoid the utility to find the kill, and he anticipates and collects. Can't get the second, and then Exist bests him. That could have been critical. That would have been the bomb dropped. Instead, Exist will plant it. And it's a 4-on-4, made a 4-on-3 in the post plant as Friend removes Kisarek out long. Goes hunting for more, and now he's the AWP having the impact. Beastic firing off shots, Shock swings, and well, you don't want to give them too many opportunities. But finally finding Shock there, surely that locks it in. KOLESIE ending this drought of rounds. Beastic just looks to hold on and maybe take some players out on their exit pathing. Does take one more, but it's KOLESIE's round.
Tell you what, very scary that Exist is taking that swing onto Modo with the bomb, as you mentioned, because you're right. I think as soon as Modo, if he gets that kill onto Exist, the round's just over. All said and done. But Sinners, they had the read incorrect on this. So Modo does brilliantly to get the opener, but the reinforcement's just too far away at that point. And then Friend does brilliantly just to keep scoping in. He takes the aggressive fight in towards CT, and he shuts down the potential of that retake from ever even happening. 4-0 up if they're able to make this 6-6. I think that would be a good showing, all things considered, for KOLESIE. Especially some of the nature of some of these rounds. Modo. Oh, flashed off the angle. Is there going to be a reflash in? No, there's not. And there isn't going to be a re-aggression from Beleni. But it could be confirmation that the Orb's here. But Modo never fired a shot.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever any sighting on it. So he's just going to remantle on it. Smoke makes it a bit tricky, but he progresses forward. Another flash. Modo gets back in and finally gets the success he was looking for.
That's the bomb.
Spotted in towards short, but plenty of defenders here this time. Sure, no AWP, but 3 riflers, a defensive smoke, making it tricky. That's a scary fight to be taking. But a base in stress on. And these 2 players here ready as KOLESIE jumps up and then Exist swings in. Oh, stress on. Just pre-fires innocent. And Friend, it's untenable. Sinners win out the half after being down 0-4.
A brilliant display from Sinners to recover that half after it was escaping them just a little bit. The pistol fell flat and then the conversions were collected by KOLESIE, but in the gun rounds, that's where this team starts to come alive, and I'm really interested to see what KOLESIE can bring here on this CT side, because as you mentioned, Lucy, their pistol win percentage is very good. So again, if they're able to claim the pistol here, they're able to get a run of rounds, this scoreline is going to get ever so close again, and it already is pretty tight.
Yeah, pistol rounds in the game for KOLESIE. Started the last half strong. Long setup is crazy. It's just a whole line of defenders out here. Will Sinners get a whiff of this and decide to run elsewhere? I'm going to throw some utility in, but it doesn't feel like the commit, so maybe they do have the read. Beastic looking to drop down to CT. I think it's going to be a B split, and it feels like the perfect call to make.
Here it is. All right, KOLESIE, what have you got? Well, you've been spotted by Sinners, but the shot is immediate, but good trade out of Stress on. That opens up the bomb site. Innocent will at least get rid of B-Stick, so we'll make it a player advantage here, but there's no kit and there's no utility to get in this site. You've got to go with pressure. You've got to go quickly. Oh, and they do immediately. Innocent by Lenny, able to grab the frags. Shock, this is too much to handle, surely, especially the bomb already being committed to that defuse. There's no way in for him. It's a sharp shot on the first, but the bomb was being stuck around the corner. KOLESIE will take the pistol. They'll get both of them.
There's a chance there with the dual Berettas and Modo's P250, but they just can't find those shots in the post plant. So yeah, we're seeing that 70% win rate. Maybe it bumped up a little bit after the series, actually, for KOLESIE. We're Sinners getting the bomb down. The investment doesn't feel too bad. 5 M4s to contend with. Interesting situation. Head armor on all of them, but it means utility is sparse across the board.
Kind of rate that out of Kisarek. He's just spamming the smoke with the Glock. So it's like, hey guys, run an eco. Then all the utility rings in after. So mixed messages from Sinners. Innocent just waits patiently. If they go mid to B, there's a lot more players here. If they go short, that's the right answer. Friend has got a smoke. It needs to be dropped in at an appropriate time. And actually, it'll be dropped now, which is a little bit concerning because as soon as that fades, as you say, they've got nothing. Oh, but they're going mid to B, so it's not going to matter.
All right. Bursting through, Innocent. Oh, just gets drove by. But the support comes through for a second. Can KOLESIE get another? He does. And that might be the difference. Bomb to go down. B-Stick so far away. He's going to have to play late here. Modo at least scoops up this M4. He's already got a triple kill, sorry, in this round. All the frags with his name on it. B-Stick hears this player close. He needs to start moving soon. His teammate completely alone over here. That body maybe offering some sort of leverage. B-Stick reveals himself and they try to ignore him, but Modo uses that as an opportunity to strike. And it's not the ace, but the quad kill is enough. Sinners win back on the force.
Yeah, brilliant. And that's another instance, B-Stick, and he just gives a little wry smile. Maybe we should be forcing more. Maybe that's something to consider when the major rolls around, because the success rate from them force buy-in has been phenomenal. They walk into a stack with 3 players. I mean, Modo kills everyone, but the trade space is just so good out of Sinners. You think of that KOLESIE double, maybe it's enough, but no, it's one man that is certainly enough here for Sinners. Modo is making his mark here on the server, and it's fantastic to see from him. An AWPer that has been passed about in tier 2, overlooked, and I think maybe disregarded by some members of the community, finds a new home in Sinners, and he is now playing some of his best Counter-Strike. This is the most consistent, the highest level individually we've seen out of Modo ever in his career, and he continues to deliver on the big stage during a LAN semi-final. He's 18-6 right now, keeping Sinners just ahead of KOLESIE.
Force back could be everything. And it feels so tricky. 5-7s for the most part. You gotta hope you can catch somebody off guard. I'm gonna try with this short setup. Maybe at the same time, this presence in towards doors. Is it an attempt to crunch, or are they just hoping someone overextends? It's Friend that instead offers up his life. B-Stick ready for that smoke to be cleared. And he does offer up a kill of his own, but Innocent got caught low from that push out and exists also being accounted for. Modo eventually runs him down. Now the rest of KOLESIE mostly limping into this one. Should be simple enough for Sinners.
Yeah, definitely should be. Again, Modo's just providing the emergency exit plan for Sinners in these rounds. Innocent, 2 HP as well, heads down, but if a molly lands on the box, he's cooked. He's just going to try and have an opportunity here. In fact, there's just a lot of smokes being put forward to give Sinners a little bit of an open runway towards this site. Innocent is hiding and he isn't checked. Maybe he can jump up, but Modo is holding, is considering there could be a player here on the box. What's his timing look like for Innocent? Oh, he's been able to jump up and he's actually been able to get a kill, but Shock's got rid of his teammate in the meanwhile. But Lenny gets rid of Shock on the counter, 2v2. And he got such low HP that I don't think you can go for it, but it's a pretty decent save overall.
Yeah, you can take 2 rifles into the next round. You'll have armor behind them. You can drop these pistols to your teammates to try and make it contendable. But that was still a force fight, and you still only hold on to these 2 players. So the Sinners, that's a big round to bring through. Sends that lead to 3. And they'll know that KOLESIE won't be in a great position into the next. But despite the good starts to the half, it's Sinners' experience prevailing. Sun setup. It's like he's got the watermelon setup.
Good combo. You know, you got like the knife and glove combos. Maybe we should start talking about the mouse mat, the keyboard, and the mouse combos.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Wasteland Rebel. No. The one that's like that AK, yeah, right? Yeah. That says colors.
Yeah, that AK. I don't know what it's called, but I can picture it vividly in my mind.
All right, where are these rifles about? It's like both over towards A at the moment. So a smoke to keep this B attack at bay. Will Sinners respect when this smoke gets dropped? There it goes. I don't think they will. I think they want to commit through this. They're going to break off it and Posty, I don't know if he can hold on. Innocent actually does arrive in time, but he gets 2. He's got the second rifle. Bylane's made it a double and he gets them all. The 2 rifles come through in the nick of time and get every single kill.
Tell you what, I think there was actually a little bit of indecision there for Sinners, whether they wanted to actually commit through that smoke. And if they'd just broken it open immediately and gone, the rifles wouldn't have been there. But because they hesitated just for a moment, and then the pistols are just able to be annoying, that means all the rotates can come over. Innocent does brilliantly, but how about that from Byleni? Triple out of the Galil. The scoreline will remain contested. It will be Friend on this angle. Modo just peeks into him. Nothing gets by Modo. You can't stop him when he's in this form at the moment. Another opening pick for Sinners as they look to right their wrongs.
A necessary one too. This is the biggest weapon in the round. Only a Galil as far as rifles go. The damage inflicted on the round prior with the force buy actually having some serious effect. So Modo called upon, delivers with 1, but likely will need some more. There's a great boost up to deal with a potential mid to B play.
Yes, but they've left B. They've left it completely. So if this boost doesn't get like a multi-kill, and obviously Sinners committing towards mid to B, then you're struggling. They might just send Modo off for a contact mission in CT.
Smoke lands. And now this boost. Set up for success. The hero of the round prior. He has a chance here and he sees a whole lot of bodies, but he can't connect the shots. It's disastrous. The break comes, but it's too late and sees nothing. B-Stick. That's dirty. Finally, 1 kill comes through, but B-Stick's found another. What are these Deagle kills? And that should be double digits. Most certainly.
Yeah, they just made such a gamble read that they weren't going to go B, or if they were, then Byleni was going to kill them all. And to be honest, he had a chance to get free right there and then. Instead, it doesn't happen. It goes the other way, And it's the dastardly Deagle at a B-stick that is going to put Sinners on towards double digits on their opponent's map pick. If we've got the replay, we absolutely have to see that back. So I've got no idea. I imagine one of them was just finally reboosting himself up or something along those lines. A B-stick hits the shot. But one of them has to just be direct through the smoke.
Let's see it back. A crazy gamble. Some crazy shots. There's a real chance there off that boost. I can't believe. Sees 3 backs turned. Doesn't connect a shot, just too many to contend with. At least with that save, they've still got a full purchase coming out. The round's getting away for them as Sinners get double digits. Kisarek, he goes for the long play. They'll see a shoulder. Molly, not deep enough. There's a chance here for a kill and he'll get it.
He wants more. Keep going for the peak, says B-stick. As he makes his way out towards the blue bin, Modo will then move over and he's just staring at him. Give me back my AWP. Come on. Give us the angle. Said he's going to creep through. Kisarek still holding the line. Closu. Oh, in fact, look at this triple push. Kisarek is still holding. It's so good that Kisarek is still holding this angle. Is there going to be a flashbang through? No. It says it's going to be a contact fade on the smoke here for KOLESIE. Kisarek misses the mark, but there's still so many players here for Sinners. Flashbang over the top, and they collapse completely onto the push out of KOLESIE. It is just Lenny remaining. A hero in previous rounds, now being reduced to 0. For KOLESIE when it comes to the kill count in round 18. He'll hide and tuck tail in towards mid with the FAMAS as he looks to hold on, but Shock has got the wrap around, and surely the confirmation killing blow right here, right now, as Sinners will extend their lead, put themselves on 11 and ruin the economy of the CT side.
Yeah, that's it. That was a must-win round for KOLESIE. This could just be the entire map right here. And we know Overpass is waiting as well. A map that KOLESIE have so few reps on, and Sinners are rock solid. This round is where it hung in the balance, but the patience from Sinners is perfection. Sure, Kisarek misses that first shot, but he's just got so many eyes that can then swing out and deal with this contact. A flashbang would have gone a long way, but I don't think it was a luxury they had. So now it's USPs. Literally just 5 USPs. 12. You imagine, has to be guaranteed.
Yeah, it should be. Stresson has even got the AUG that Exist had in the previous. Fun little stack on short. Friend has got plenty of them in this angle. The issue is, as you say, it's just USPs, and I mean, it feels a little bit toothless when you consider that Sinners aren't going in this direction whatsoever. They're going to take their range advantage. They're going towards long, and they've got B-stick that's holding the late lurk or any pushes out of short or lower tunnels. Look at how diligent they're being.
Stresson with the AUG. Catches Innocent pushing out, and, well, Shock might see a few more targets than he's expecting. Up close here. He's going to have a flashbang to set up his peak. Go. Target practice for Shock. Still 2 players. Oh, brilliant. Easily dealt with. Lovely quad kill from Shock, and that's at 12 with 5 opportunities to take Dust2.
Yeah, plenty of them. And there's not going to be an AWP for Friend in this round either. So Modo, yet again, just completely uncontested. And uncontested when it comes to the server. He's got a free KD at the moment on Dust2. This pick by KOLESIE, one that they've been leaning into here at LORGAR Rankings. This LAN portion of the event, they took down Focus 13-7, and now they're looking potentially to suffer the same fate. It's a B play that didn't work last time. Remember that Innocent and Lenny ace between both of them with 2 safe rifles? Sinners might look to run it back and to give confidence to themselves of how they actually should be executing this bomb site.
And support this time pretty far away, although Innocent does make some moves back in towards middle. B6 in towards short. I think he might be trying to set up a bit of a I was going to say fake, but now actually Sinners start to move back. So maybe we just wanted to hold on to that ground. Innocent adopts a nice angle where he can look above this util. If it does come out towards him. It looks like after dropping that lurk smoke, they're going to keep this fairly simple. Making moves up and towards short. And Friend going to have a lot to contend with shortly.
Yeah, he is. But this smoke's going to come in at a nice time. But so too are the ones from Sinners. Friend will see a glimpse. Now, I like the fact he's playing ahead of these smokes as well. Beastic gets rid of Innocent, sure. And does that change plans with 25 seconds? Do you send it in towards B, or do you just scale up A? If you go A, you have to get by Friend. And if you go B, you got 20 seconds. They boost, they jump, they try and do any damage, but it's Friend that's inflicting all of it. Shock will at least get the trade back. Beastic trying to hold the line over towards CT, but he can't hold on. And Shock, he cannot find anyone else in that 1v3. KOLESIE hold on through their new sniper, who gets ahead of all of the utility and punishes Sinners and their time management.
Yeah, the smoke also landing was a huge moment too. Meant that they had to push through the grey screen to face him, and he does a fantastic job sliding back in after disengaging off the first kill too. You see, there was that indecision. Sinners thought about going back. And then when they do commit, it's, yeah, too late then. Brilliant stuff from Friend. Keeps KOLESIE in it for one more. These rounds won't get easier. Plenty of money for Sinners to keep stringing the fight along. Again, it's almost the same setup. The third player leaning towards B rather than the mid doors. KOLESIE feeling like after QA attempts, Sinners might have some ideas to move towards the B side.
They go B. That is not the right course of action. But they've dropped the same amount of utility that they did when they went short in the previous. And a double resmoke comes in from KOLESIE. 40 seconds left. Bosun by Lenny still occupying the space. Break on the smoke. Flashbang. Oh, Lenny's full blind, but KOLESIE steps in with him. And yet again, Sinners, they just can't breach B. And they have to just retreat. Beastic will try and find a move, but Innocent will punish. And KOLESIE start to close the gap. Modo can't hold on to the AWP, and that's vital because the money is now getting a little bit limited for the T side.
Just trying to force into this B side multiple times without success. And a great read from KOLESIE as well, having that third player close by. They read the game pretty well from Sinners there. Let's force the timeout for the first time for Sinners. They haven't felt the pressure yet, but now they do. Is it enough for a fight here? 8k for Shock. Close to 7.5 for Stressan. The guns can be afforded to all. You know, if you drop this one, you might be letting KOLESIE narrow that gap. Flashbang good, but too many bodies in. Leaning up close. Things on out. Actually, okay, they don't want to go full in. They kind of do. Shock is to be money for the AWP in the next round.
This could be timed really well. If they just go immediately, just put the smoke on the molly. Yeah, nades out for Lenny. KOLESIE not ready for the pace either. He's playing off the site, but he still finds his mark on it. Shots dropped. And now suddenly you've got smokes in at door, smokes in at window, and that gives capacity for the bomb to be planted. KOLESIE need to retake this, otherwise they lose their map pick.
They've got the utility to do it. They've got the kits on everybody. But Stressan's got another smoke that can land on doors. He's got a molly he can throw in towards the window. And he can just keep delaying them. Waiting for the smoke fade before this one gets thrown. Killing the clock are Sinners. And a smoke dropped towards doors. So that's the fake out that Friend's not coming, but Modo's considering it. What's his timing look like? A boost up? And he's still aware of Friend's possibility. Modo slings on back and all the kills come through. It's a B rush to close it, but it's enough to get it done. Sinners take KOLESIE's map pick 13-9.
Yeah, and that's what they were hoping for. That's the third time's the charm on that B bomb site for Sinners. They just had the spawns. They just had the spawns in that moment, and they decided, let's just do it. Let's just run through the initial volley of utility. Maybe we catch them with nades out, because the protocol's always
Took the upset victory over focus. They'd love to keep this dream alive going into a potential grand final. Gentlemates waiting in the wings. They had a dominant semi-final of their own. Denver Sinners would be a very exciting grand final, especially if they can make this a comfortable 2-0. If this bunts come through, should be getting into the server so we can get our second map, the second semi-final underway.
And as Tico mentioned, KOLESIE will start on that CT side. Double dualies, no kit, which is becoming the meta increasingly more and more on pistol round buys for the CT squads. Sinners, this is fast. Straight up through long. If they run through this right-hand side, yeah, Friend is going to be noticed of it and starts communicating it over, but the shots don't land flush. Instead, it is B-Stick that will connect the lead. And Sinners are going to go all the way around the world, and Innocent can now hear this, so at least he can communicate this, and I don't think they're going to clear him, so maybe there's a chance here for the in-game leader, but Stresson looks back. Lenny then can't punish. All the kills are going in favor of Sinners.
At the same time, Kisirek gets that kill in towards Monster, on that second player. Zist is alone on A as they make their way up, and in the open, he does take one, but that was always going to be a limited amount of output. Standing out wide like that. The Sinners, they run up and down, they run all around, and they leave bodies in their wake. And 1v4 with little to work with. And in fact, Modo is already in towards heaven, looking to flank through and just be a nuisance. Still standing tall, and he's already won the round. Time gone, and kill found.
You gotta remember that KOLESIE started Dust2 4-0 up, but that was off the benefit of winning the pistol, winning the force buy. Converting against the eco, they give themselves a lot of runway. Here, if they force in and they lose, they're gonna suffer a similar fate that they put Sinners in. They will be buying into it. MP7, that delays the AWP potential for Friend if this isn't a success story. Sinners are immediately going to send a couple of players down in towards connector. Friend is about to be tested, actually, pretty immediately. Molly, flashbang thrown in, and he gets out just. He takes the life of shock.
All right, well, that's a good way to get this force buy going. Modo misses that timing, but okay. They'll spot that player. But again, it's a disengage. They might start to move bodies up. There's actually no one on A itself. It's two players out towards long, and B-Stick just walked in. Innocent throws off a HE, but B-Stick's ahead of it, and, well, it actually did a huge amount of damage onto Modo. So it's still not comfortable, especially without the long control, but they'll flash, they'll have a look, and that's going to allow this bomb to go down. Concerned about this flank, Modo locks in the angle.
They need to get space off this bomb site, because the walls are closing in pretty immediately. Stresson tries, but there you go. Kills back and forth immediately. B-Stick now looks to take space in towards CT, but all his teammates that have fallen in the meanwhile, and he's only equipped with a MAC-10. But maybe that's all that matters. He can get the reload in. There's no kit. Exist is going to stick it for 10 seconds. Friend needs to provide the cover, and he can't do it. But there's a smoke up now. Exist, is there any chance for him? Oh, he gets off the bomb. Is there enough time now to defuse? It's going to be ever so close. I don't think he's got it. The in-game leader is Sinners. He's done enough. And Sinners are able to convert.
Lost the plot of where that bomb was planted there. The smoke going a bit deep, thinks it's a bit further to the right, and there's almost a chance there, but the smoke not covering him enough. The knife shank gets him off the bomb for a second, and that's all that was needed. Close call. And it got very dicey. Sinners just about threading the needle to get in, but what a moment from B-Stick. Still going to be enough to incite the force buy back from KOLESIE. They hate the taste of that one.
It's aggressive. Out of friend, but he'll back off. Just saw on the banner there as well. Headline partner, LORGAR. Streaming gaming or sim racing. It's your one solution. Here at the LORGAR rankings. And Sinners, they're going for the same solution themselves in round 3, that they just get all this space up divider so effortlessly. They've fully contacted it, and Friend's got no idea. He nearly finds 2 kills. Beastic remains to be the hero that Sinners need. Exist will now start running through the toilets, and he's actually got a very good timing.
Yeah, bomb's actually not down yet. Will we find it safely? Oh, not quite, but at least it still goes down. You've got this flank being held, but it's gone. And Beastic on 16 HP. This time it's surely got to be Moto. But Beastic might have a good timing. Problem's going to be this plant position. Clock a concern, but the T's are so far away. Do they know it's planted here? I don't know. They realize they can't stop it. It's being defused a full 10 seconds, and yeah, I think they thought it was planted default.
Counter-terrorists win.
Savage, really savage. I mean, brilliant timing to get the player immediately planting the bomb as well for Exist. The fact that Friend gets a kill and a dink as well onto Beastic just makes life incredibly more difficult for Sinners. And the fact that the player lurking, I think it was Kisarek, over towards Party, can't find a single kill. That really throws a spanner in the works for Sinners. So KOLESIE will just continue with these 4 spies. They will find a success story. Second time of asking. It's a missed molly, and that gives room for the T side to explore. Not only that, Kisarek is firing off a shot in towards short to maybe bait one of these players in. KOLESIE thought about pushing the issue towards Monster, but now thinks better of it.
Slow crawl from Shock. Now towards long this time for Sinners. Can afford a lot of space. No one's seen anything on any of these adventures. We can see KOLESIE about to take Monster control. And that should keep them confirmed for this setup in towards A. Tech 9's days are numbered, but this push through the smoke, okay, it works out. Friend gets 2. The AWP, a difficult position to trade. Now you have no way out. Slowly getting closed in upon from Connector. Beastic steps forward. Friend has moved into the bathroom itself. Surely backstab will come through, and Stressan left in the 1-on-4. And he doesn't even get a chance to get it started.
Yeah, really nice. I think missed time in there from Stressan. Beastic was hoping he'd get on the angle to block the connector play. That doesn't happen, and then you've got the movement immediately out of one of the players from connector. That takes the audio cue and makes him look the other way, and KOLESIE can just step in. Good activation here in the mid-round from KOLESIE. The fact that they're pushing and forcing the fight, taking the space and towards Monster. KOLESIE wanted to initially, gets help from a teammate, and they push together and they'll take the space. They get all the information immediately. And now you look at the money for Sinners, it's non-existent. So it's been a hard-fought battle for KOLESIE, but now they put themselves in a position where they're going to take the lead potentially for the first time in this game, and they can rack up some rounds on the defense, which is so incredibly vital because I know how good Sinners just are overall on this map, and Overpass is definitely more favored for that defense.
Charge through the molly. Friend doesn't actually want to stick around. Neither does Exist. They're going to fall back. Jump peek to spot out some bodies. That nade actually does an insane amount of damage, and then the AWP chimes in. Attempt to scale, but Exist's angle looks pretty good. The smoke will allow this bomb to go down. Yeah, just about. Innocent gets here, but not in time to deny. So sure, they get all the kills, but a bomb plant for Sinners is something.
Yeah, that's just, to be honest, the only objective out of that round, really, is when you've got no money, no utility. If you can get a bomb plant in that situation, that just helps out. That just makes things a little bit easier. It won't allow Modo to get on towards the AWP, but it means that full utility can be purchased alongside all of these AKs. Best case scenario from a round that is always sort of destined to go in the favor of the CTs. You can take that every day of the week.
And no oppo still allowed for Modo into this one. A very aggressive push from KOLESIE. They bring 4 players over to A to get this ground, and they don't slow down. Push all the way through. See Modo's trying to jiggle for it. Nade. So he does tickle him. Sentry not going to spread. And the flashbang, even though it comes over, Exist gets away with 1 point of health.
Surely you activate on B now if you're Sinners. Like, you know that there are so many players that are pushing forward. If you've got this double setup pushing the issue over towards Long and Fountain, surely there's someone else in towards Connector. The time to go B, and it's slowly fading away because it exists on 1 HP. Sure, his life is limited, but he's rotated down, and now he's this third element, and he can just play a crossfire.
Kisrek's not seeing too much. Worried about that push that came through the round prior. This time it doesn't. And Friend starts to move forward. Curious about shot. Kisrek almost has the timing. The headshot goes the other way. He's going to start to scramble. Beastic gets caught out towards Long. Shock and Modo left into this 2-on-5. So many bodies here to contend with. Nothing found. Modo does take 2, but it was low HP players, and he can't get anything else done.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they don't work out what was going on with that setup over towards Fountain. Kisrek doesn't see anything. He could easily just spin that into a play. You can move back. Modo was still alive with the bomb at that moment. Instead, you allow the CTs to get repositioned. Always difficult in the 3v5, sure. And now with a force buy with accelerated intention straight forward in towards B. It's an easy one for KOLESIE. He's just not blinded. In fact, all of Sinners are affected by utility. Whether it's fire, whether it is flashbangs, is good enough for this defense to hold. Beastic can't take any with him. So that is a flawless round of the defense against a force buy that has previously troubled KOLESIE.
Yeah, okay. Every half's got to have one B rush just to test things out, but they're getting a bit stressed here on the Sinners side. Normally so comfortable here and against a KOLESIE that has got so few reps. So really impressive how they're showing up. Clearly have put the homework in. Taking a different angle this time, but Connector's not been a focal point for KOLESIE for the most part. And we'll get into the short angle. Threat looking to test him again, and it's the same result. This time, Friend walks away scot-free.
Yeah, easy does it. Stressan now thinking about maybe going towards Long, but there's a double setup here. Yeah, again, there's so much space over towards Divider and Toilets here. The Sinners. They don't recognize it. And look at that timing. Stressan moves away and Exist walks in. Stressan going to go back and consider it. And he's able to punish Exist. So that is a kill on an extremity. And now what the Sinners want to do with it, because Innocent, he's now got a decision to make. Does he move forward himself? Does he just park over towards Long? The defense is going to be split 50-50 towards A and B. So for Sinners in 30 seconds, the decision's been made. They want to head in towards this bomb site. And by Lenny on the boost, it might be good for a kill, but actually defending the site it's going to be another story, and he actually misses the mark. They're going to push forward. The bomb's not planted. They're just going to go in, but that molly is going to break things. And Modo finds Innocent. That means the bomb can go down now.
Yeah, that's the short threat removed too. That was the flank coming through. This means it's one-dimensional on the approach. B-Stick tucks in to a difficult angle to clear. You've got this short swing that could come at any moment. KOLESIE starts to move forward and doesn't clear that corner. A trade, it's a quick kill and he's found a second. Is there a chance here? Modo on the line wants to deny it, but flying around the corner. Friend comes in and KOLESIE again, but Shock's still alive. And that kill on the Friend changes everything. KOLESIE can't get the follow-up, and a nice attempt in the retake gets a lot closer than you think it should have. The Sinners will take the round.
Yeah, oh my goodness me. Ridiculous impact coming in from Shock, and I like the bait and switch set up from Modo. Friend tries his best. The fact that he flies over the corner, takes the contact away from his rifler. You think it's all said and done in that moment. But B-Stick getting there, the kill on by Lenny, that element of surprise. You really think KOLESIE's just done enough, but instead it's Shock that clutches up the Sinners in a big way. It's been individual efforts for Sinners that have been able to get them these 3 rounds so far on this T side. You know that B-Full and B-Stick aren't going to be too happy with that, because it's normally this team effort, it's normally this consolidated approach from Sinners that get them and earn these rounds pretty decisively. Instead, they're being made to work for every single one of them. Still got money in the back pockets for KOLESIE, even with this investment now. And now a new direction too. 4 players on this B bomb site. They expect something, but so does B-Stick. He waits at Monster.
Oh, he looks away, but he comes back and can't convert the kill. Galil not the weapon for it. Kisarek doesn't want to swing, and a good call. Friend was holding the line. Unfortunate timing to look away. AK would have been a different outcome. Kisarek still steps forward. Friend has had him beat every time he steps close to B.
At least with that smoke up at Monster, you can go and get the bomb now, but you rely yet again on Shock to do damage. It exists to see him on the jump spot. And he moves away, he drops the smoke, but Shock also gets information of his own. Innocent in a truck, it exists. Over at Long, and Innocent spam is expert. Shock can't find anything on his little adventure towards the A bomb site. And if you're Sinners with 20 seconds left now, you're saving.
An unfortunate reality. Can't lose this AWP. I don't think this Prowl will find anything. Got to go towards connector. So KOLESIE get up onto 6.
Counter-terrorists win.
And they are going to have to continue this pressure, because it's going to be a tough second half for them. But I'm really loving what I'm seeing out of this team. So few reps. And against a team that is one of the best in Tier 2 on Overpass. And they're looking like the veterans.
Yeah, I'm just really liking how more methodical this CT side is from KOLESIE. The fact that they are activating together, they're going for these mid-round pushes. They've been showing a lot of variation as well in the early stages of rounds. It's been really impressive. They've definitely got the capacity to get up to 7 rounds here. Especially with the buy that Sinners walk forward with in this round. Galil, AWP, those are the saved weapons, and surrounding them, it's just pistols. And I like this tempo shift out of KOLESIE. They know there's not going to be much in this, apart from these saved weapons. So they're just going to wait, they're just going to be patient. Fred now adopts a different angle, no longer on B. He takes the range advantage at Long.
This doesn't see too much there. It falls back on the timing. Happy with this control. He's going to hear this utility thrown out. Friend is here with the AWP, and now he just steps forward. Is bested. Just about. Stressan barely surviving. Maybe you'll give that rifle over. Kisarek gifted the Galil. Oh, and the ult fires off. Your friend spotted on the jiggle, but gets out towards Long. Friend holding for Modo's peak, but he doesn't overextend. 30 seconds, they do have to commit in here. With the time ticking, a third player now arrives onto A to defend. Friend still in place, removes Mojo, swings out, takes another. Shock falls in. Well, now Innocent can step in and he'll find enough. Between the three of them, they lock down A.
Yeah, they do brilliantly. I mean, Friend, he's so dynamic on this bomb site. He's consistently looking to punish Modo. And as soon as he throws the flashbang over, that gives him the chance to relocate towards long, holds that, can then move forward on the angle, and he just keeps swinging. He just keeps looking back into Divider. It's superb from Friend. And it's Sinners leaving another round just incredibly late. And that is coming back to cost them a lot in this first half.
All right. Well, Zerk finally gets the success and they just want to go. However, Vileni stepped through and he's found 3. Rock solid. Despite an opener, there is just nothing else to find here. And now the entire team rotates. You cannot commit. They're already looking for a way out. Shock is moving up connector. Beastic has to push all the way back around, and they have no idea where the CTs could have got to. Worried about every nook and cranny. Although, the rotation actually hasn't moved yet. And so Shock, I mean, he doesn't know it, but he could just walk straight into A. Just concerned about every which way. A smoke coming over now. Surely that's the signal to start moving pieces. However, KOLESIE are just going to gamble. At least for now. Friend starts to move. It's a real shame Sinners had no idea how much space was actually available to them.
I mean, why would they? That's the thing. Why would you ever expect nobody to be here whatsoever? And they're so paranoid about long because that's been the main focus for KOLESIE in terms of their defense. Shock's just dead instantly, and Beastic, I mean, well, he could try and get a plant maybe, or he'd get a couple of kills but exist through the smoke. We'll get rid of him over on truck. It looks a little bit scary from a round that seemed to always be in control from the CTs.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of control, look at the rounds. 1 round from Sinners in this run of 8 from KOLESIE. Remarkable performance on their opponent's map pick in what felt like a shoo-in for a 2-0. KOLESIE are showing that even though this felt like it could have been a simple stomp, that they have been putting the hours in outside of the server. I think Sinners were expecting this to go a very different way. If it's not the movements in the mid-round, these little pushes out monster information gathering, moving pieces around the map, it's just rock-solid defenses.
They're playing brilliantly. Oh dear. And it gets worse. Flashbang forward though, Beastic is able to get rid of Friend, and he knows about Exist over here. Does Exist swing? This is brave, but it pays off.
All right, well, Kisarek gives something over here, and now, okay, feet shut out. Kisarek can immediately start scaling. An open bomb site. Innocent arrives, but he's sent packing immediately. Just took a couple of individual kills to come through, and Sinners will walk away with at least 4, but the question is, will it be enough? We'll find out.
Well, we know the CT side of Overpass is pretty favorable. However, KOLESIE, limited reps, limited experience, hold Sinners back on their choice. Sinners are able to grab a 4th round at the end. Could that prove pivotal? Could that prove vital? Well, we're about to see. KOLESIE want to stay alive here in the semi-final. They want to force us to that decider of Nuke, which is very familiar and comfortable territory for them. They just need to stick the landing here on this T side and stop Sinners getting any sort of momentum.
You don't want to let the CT side get rolling early. Sinners took that first pistol. Had a 2-0 start to the half and only found 4 in total. Modo goes for a look. Doesn't see this player out tree, but will spot 2 and then finally does. So information, if not a kill. A reload off the flash and, well, the swing doesn't actually come. I made for the best because B6's out here. Meanwhile, Shock gets the aggro push towards B. Modo eventually finds that frag and it's looking good for Sinners.
It's looking great, but Shock is alone currently and he needs to hold on. Shadow spotted, kill collected. Once and maybe twice, and all he needs to do is just fall back. Stressan is then invited onto the angle in the water. Dulverettas rattle off, so does the flashbang in towards the faces of KOLESIE, and now Innocent is left completely alone and isolated. A 1v5 is even being spammed through the woods on the pistol. They know exactly where he is. And they might not even give him the satisfaction of living. After time, Modo might put him out of his misery beforehand. And I think he recognizes, actually, I need to go and die. That's exactly what happens. All right, Sinners. They respond immediately, and they keep 5 alive whilst doing it.
Yeah, perfect start to affairs. Stressan just going to run the Dulverettas here. That could be risky. Okay, yeah, he does buy the M4. Could have got dicey, but all the individuals went out there fights. Great kill from Shock. Spy from KOLESIE, so they don't want to allow Sinners to build up, but this one falls flat. And he could really enable the CTs away back in.
It's so true. Look at Stressan. Got a lot of info early. Oh, and over towards this side of the map. It's going to be a split over towards B. They've got a lot of utility here as well. They've got these nades that are going to potentially rain in, but unfortunately they're going to miss the mark, and that should be a good indication as to what's going on. You see players in Monster, you see players in towards Short, but in fact Kissray doesn't see anything in front of him. Baileni gets a double. Modo and Beastick quickly reply to make things even, but that's the bomb site compromised.
You got Innocent holding in towards Short here. Stressan needs to be thorough on this clear. Close right in, he does. Cops a headshot in the process. Was he spotted scampering towards the corner? Yes, he was. Friend in the 1-on-3, but they're so low. There's a chance here, but needs to connect these shots. And Modo, that's an angle to adopt. So KOLESIE, great entries with the Tech 9, but Sinners just about able to bring that back. They keep 3 alive in the process.
Yeah, really well handled there from Sinners. Great clear out of Stressan as well. Walking down connector, thorough in his execution. Checking every single one of those angles, and they just spot Exist, as you said, on that left-hand side of Monster. Really well handled by the players that rotated in quite quickly there for Sinners. They needed to get those kills. It was so essential. Unfortunately enough for them, they are able to. I wonder if that ever incentivizes you to repurchase into this. Yeah, it does a little bit. I mean, it will be a half investment, but at least there's a Galil for Baileni, who's 14 and 6.
This one, not as much punch as that Galil, as you say. They're just going to crawl. Slowly getting closer. There is some defensive util. Stressan We'll drop out the smoke on seeing contact, and they're actually maybe going to commit. Flashbang is fantastic, but he only gets the one. At least Modo steps through, and okay, all the support arrives. Modo cleans house. Back to the sort of performance we were seeing on D2 on that CT side, and Sinners bring us within one.
Yeah, they do, and fortunately for them as well, that is a lot easier of a round to handle. They only drop a single player. Modo can immediately be reacquainted with his AWP. Friend can have one as well, so this is nice. Because of that bomb down in the second round, that means that we get a full gun round right here, right now, and we also get both AWPs in tow. Break open of the con smoke. Kisrex doesn't see anything. Friend boosted. Again, also doesn't see anything. Stressan is completely isolated in con. That flashbang thrown over by B is good, but his nade gets stuck in the pipes. Doesn't really do any damage.
He's able to hold on to it, but the molly now lands behind him, and this is a little bit threatening. Oh, look, a bit scared there, but KOLESIE doesn't peek. So Stressan is actually allowed to evacuate. Same time, KOLESIE haven't really gotten a lot of space. They threw that molly down, then fell back. They want to reroute over here towards B. And it's maybe a good time to do it. That disengage, not seeing anything. The molly coming down connector. Sinners are worried about A.
Yeah, I mean, they've had no long info. Oh, dear. And that monster smoke has missed completely. Yeah, they've got no true info. And they still haven't rotated yet. 35 seconds, Shock completely by himself. This is a nightmare. Flashbang's going to ring out. He's full blinded. He's just got to wait for his opportunity. He pounces. And in fact, Kisarek then activates in at heaven, able to get rid of by Lenny and Dink exist. And now the jig is up for KOLESIE. They can now plant the bomb. KOLESIE still in connector, still looking to wrestle away this control with Stressan, and this angle feels dominant. And Stressan, though, will still win out the fight regardless. And suddenly all the Sinners swarm exist, who got dinked in heaven by Kisarek, is now the last player standing, trying to hold on desperately to the bomb site, and he can't do it in a blink of an eye. Sinners, they win the round, they retake, and they keep 4 alive.
Oh, okay. That one got very dicey there for a moment. Looked like KOLESIE had the call. I don't know how Stressan catches that timing. It really felt like he was going to lose that fight. And that could have been a very different outcome to the round, because then Short would have been under threat. Nice boost up as well as towards CT. All these different avenues of approach coming through for Sinners, making it so difficult to hold in the post plant. We're tied up. Bomb goes down. Do you want to invest here for KOLESIE? It's not going to be with everything, so it might just be a half buy. No. Khalil comes out, so they are just going to keep the fight going.
Okay. I'm not so certain about this one, but I guess you got the full loss bonus. You got the bomb down. I guess the only conversation to have with this is, friend, are you okay without an AWP? If the answer is yeah, then you can buy into this. You can keep putting the pressure on Sinners, but Sinners have been able to win these rounds over the last couple whilst maintaining their bankroll. They haven't really dropped too many players in the process. And it could just be a faster tempo switch now out of Innocent and KOLESIE. I have to wait and see. These B bomb site hits have been pretty favorable. They have been resulting in bomb plants. Be interested to see how they approach it. B-Stick drops the nade in its short, jumps for information, doesn't see anything. KOLESIE will immediately take connector off the back of it. Oh, time in. Good for Kisarek.
Nice. Kisarek has had some big impact after a slow start to the map. Nice boost up to get the open up. Sure, he gets brought down low, but still an extra player alive. We'll just move over to reinforce A. He's still spread, but now look to gather back up towards B. I've managed to get in. Yeah, that's not been a real problem for them. It's holding on afterwards, although I think getting in is going to be tricky here with the lack of util.
Especially with B-Stick push. If B-Stick pushes, though, maybe Lenny has got an opportunity instead of set up with a flashbang. No smokes. Here, Shock is going to be under pressure. That flashbang will fully blind in, but B-Stick steps in and then Shock can round the corner. They find a double opener, and then there's counter utility and there's reinforcements here for Sinners. Rendered by Lenny, and Lenny's been brought down incredibly low. Just looking to try and salvage the situation in this 4v2, and in fact, it gets made a little bit worse. Cut in half. Now this attempt, and Friend can't find a frag. B-Stick will do it, and Sinners, yet again, they only lose one player.
Now they step into the lead. After the pressure was on them in that first half, feeling like this little underdog team was going to upset them. CT side is a very different tale. A blip on this entire defense. And now it has to be that force buying. So for Sinners, chance now to get up to double digits, extend that lead. Although we did see the Tech-9s break into B previously, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Sinners are much more in their comfort zone.
It just feels very familiar. Like all these rounds are started off the same. You get this double setup for KOLESIE over towards Con. You can see these nades fly over, and you know what's going to happen here. Shock is going to be battered and bruised by the utility, and then fully blinded. There's a random team kill. Exist gets rid of by Lenny, of all things. But at least you can plant. At least you've got space, or so you'd think. KOLESIE drops down. B-Stick then overwhelmed, and the Tech-9s will get in towards this B bomb site. Stress on, boosted, bomb put forward. Exist caught out. And maybe there's a chance, low HP, but you know where both of these defenders are, tucked in towards CT. Good molly is going to push KOLESIE out and put Stressan in. And he still knows about KOLESIE, but he can't handle him. Tech-9 will find the frag. Moto swats to the sidearm for himself, but can't hit the instant headshot at range or up close. And now with limited HP and limited time, he gets out and KOLESIE will stride in. They will finally make their mark known here on this T side.
Almost smoked that one into existence. With the line of buy, they're able to breach through, and some crazy kills, some desperate attempts to defend there. Spamming through the smoke was great. Exist gets a big kill. And yeah, we can see flashbang comes over by Lenny, just keeps on spamming. Oh, that looks so funny. Well, doesn't matter in the end. That's the huge kill into B-Stick that makes it so difficult to get the retake going. You mantled forward very far to try and get a kill back. It ends up costing him. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, this is quick. And there's Friend being tagged down as well. For a spam and then a flash to set up Stressan. So Sinners get active. KOLESIE wanted to as well. In a moment's notice by Lenny was all the way through the monster smoke of Sinners, and now he's back. Joined with the rest of his team. So much ground has just been covered here by Sinners. They just turn the switch over to aggression. They take all the space and they find the opening kill.
Friend so low. This doesn't hurt so much with the AWP, but it doesn't feel good. Moto prowling here. Not actually looking actively towards long, but gets back on the line after dropping the smoke to allow his teammate to get up close. Boost up. Flashbang. Gets Moto off the line. Gets confirmation that AWP is present as well. They just might look to commit off there. Smokes come down. B6's been caught. Moto's completely alone here on A. Support arriving just in time, it would seem, as Stressan gets one. Flushed out. The AWP fires off for a kill and can't get the second. That's going to enable this bomb to go down, and a 2-on-2.
And Shock is just about half HP. And shell-shocked are Sinners. How'd you get back into this one? There is a smoke, there is a kit on both of these players. Kisarek now looks But Exist is playing off the bomb site, so too is Innocent. Exist just stands in the open, looking to take a favorable fight, and he will, onto Kisarek. And now Shock, who doesn't have a smoke, who doesn't have much health, will just need to evacuate the scene. The fact that Modo is so isolated, the fact that Beastic walks away with nothing, expertly done from KOLESIE. They take the one piece of ground that Sinners haven't really investigated over towards Long, and he just spit it into a successful site hit. They got to double digits, and then I'll start asking some more questions of this defense now, because they bring themselves to within 3 rounds of taking this map pick and sending us to a decider on Nuke.
Yeah, brilliant back-to-back rounds. Okay, so the flash kill is forward. That's how Innocent gets that kill. Beastic goes looking and Exist. What a brilliant round. Where does that leave Sinners here? Oh, it's not pretty. Sure, you got the ult for Moto. Shock has the rifle. I think the rest will go wanting. So a real opportunity here for KOLESIE to extend the lead.
I don't mind this, because you can buy in towards the next, so why not just get an AWP out on Modo, see what he can do. Obviously, Shock's saved rifle is pretty vital. There's still threat in this round. There's still chances. That was an opening kill as well for Sinners that goes a begging. KOLESIE able to actually convert one of these 4v5s in the series. Limited util, limited weaponry. So Modo will probably choose to get active, flashed off the line, but actually steps forward again. Did Exist see him? He's on a timer because these players are going to push up connector quite shortly.
Well, this is fun for Shock. Okay, yeah. Is he actually going to see much? There's a chance there, but... Oh, okay, instead, that's not where I thought that fight was going to come from then. Beastic swings. Okay. Not entirely what that boost is meant to succeed in, but it works. Unfortunately, weapons that can't be recovered.
No.
It's still 4 players here.
Exactly. The fact they haven't left it is still vital. And look, they're all tucked away. And you feel like you've got really good timing here, but you don't. Kisarek is favored. You had no space on A, so you felt like maybe there was an opportunity to walk back in, and maybe there still is again, but still 3 players remain. Beastic with the 5-7 and Shock locks it in. That is a ridiculous way to win that round, because that was never the true intention of that boost.
Unbelievable. And the pistols get so many of those frags. The rifle only ends up getting 1, maybe that last one. The pistol's doing so much work there. 5-7s, ridiculous, aren't they? And this whole time he's looking over there, but then the shots come out. Shock attention shifts, and yeah, the pistol's doing some serious work. Round that they weren't favored in.
Oh. Such a vital one as well, because if Sinners win this, the money's gone, and they'll put themselves up to series point almost immediately. And again, it's another aggressive opener. Stressan will find his mark on Exist, and yet again, KOLESIE, they go back to Route 1, they go back towards Monster. Lenny will be able to trade at least. That's the bare minimum. But now what have you got if you're KOLESIE? A reroute, a reset over towards A, but that means going into the double-header setup over towards Long.
Going to be grouping up. And does look like they want to go long. There's no flashbang, but if they're patient, Stressan might give them the fight. Oh, the timing for Stressan, it's perfection. Almost makes it 2. Modo's feeling a little bit of pressure now. Notice that Long isn't a threat immediately. In fact, KOLESIE look to move all the way back. Thinking that information from Stressan might mean that they over-rotate towards A, but that's not the case. Modo's going to move forward, and he's seeing nothing anywhere near bathrooms. 30 seconds. This is going to be a B finish, and there's 2 defenders close by.
Yeah, this is great out of B-Stick, because not only can he look at Con, he can also look at the short pipe. The thing is, you imagine that KOLESIE are just going to move through Monster, but he's going to be that late element. Because what's really nice here is that Kisarek can take all of the contact away from B-Stick, and He moves back in time. Okay, he will be here. And his spray is going to set Beastic up on the angle, but he's only able to grab one. 2v2, Kisarek now looks just over the top of this smoke as the digits gets punched in. If KOLESIE moves, surely he's a dead man. And in fact, the spray, the reveal on the break, KOLESIE will step back and he'll just get out scot-free. There's no smoke for this defuse, but there is a kit in play. And KOLESIE now moves over. Innocent is going to be this baited element. KOLESIE will play first. And the bomb, well, someone's got to get on it immediately. And remember, no smoke for it. They go searching, but it's KOLESIE that comes up trumps. And there's no way forward for Modo to win this now. KOLESIE have stolen it right from under Sinners' nose. And it felt like they had the right read.
They even take out Modo at the end. What a round from KOLESIE. Can't believe that he gets away in towards short there. None of the spam hits him. The HE's off the mark. If either of those things had gone the other way, that's a simple stick defuse with the cover. But he avoids danger. Despite Stressan's best efforts, he has a surprise shot. Rosefoot is caught out there. KOLESIE, what a brilliant round. Quad kill in it. KOLESIE step again into the lead. 7 for Stressan. Money on the precipice. KOLESIE so close to finding 12.
Yeah, for both. That's the thing. KOLESIE lose this, the scoreline is even, and they will have no money. Sinners lose this, KOLESIE certainly will send us towards nuke. Such a vital round of Counter-Strike. Stressan is completely on his own. You see he's pivoting between these two angles. What's the timing like? It's good out of the MP7. He'll get rid of Exist. There'll be a dink as well. And Modo now steps onto the line. Flashbang over the top. Doesn't really affect him, but he still makes his presence known. And very much like the previous, he looks to get active in towards Divider.
He's going searching. Will he be rewarded? KOLESIE is keeping an eye on Divider right now, but moves back. And Modo's still holding his ground. We'll find him. A brilliant pick. Still holding this position. Support on its way. Beastic, this is a great angle to deal with by Laney in between the two of them. They've pipped out half of this assault. The pincer gets snapped upon and they walk away without a frag. Sinners tie us back up.
Great round from Modo, because he realizes that exactly the same sequence of play he does in the previous round is never spotted by KOLESIE. So what does he do? He does exactly the same play. Drops the smoke in at Divider. He's got Beastic, so he's free to roam. And he's able to grab that kill on KOLESIE. The off angle is superior from Beastic. And from there, Shot can be that spare man. And there you go. The pendulum now swings the other way. From what could have been this deciding map, potentially still can be, but it would rest on the hopes of KOLESIE having a snatch and grab, a hit and run once more, one more time for the road on this B bomb site.
The bomb side, Shock can't hold on. Great opener. Kisarek now slips into that same angle. Oh, but the bullet's firing through. Puts the pressure on him. Beastic steps up. But that flashbang, Modo helps him out. That was gonna be his life forfeit. But all the support is here. And KOLESIE and Exist in the 2-on-4.
No.
Exist gets one, but they're run down. Sinners find series point.
I can't tell you how important Modo is in these situations, because he's done it yet again in back-to-back rounds. He saves Beastic, he bails out Sinners because he denies space on that bridge. He denies the scaling for KOLESIE, and they are just being picked apart at the seams. Sure, they get the bomb down, but again, there's just no money here whatsoever. Sinners can commit robbery on their own map pick. Remember, they were 8-4 down as the half swaps over. 3 rounds only on this T side from KOLESIE. They're still proving to be a threat, but finally, this B bomb site is defended efficiently by Sinners. And that was even with the opening pick being found by that T side.
Exceptional work. Team play on B, keeping them at bay. The Deagle for friend into this round. Can KOLESIE find a way to get us to OT? Will Sinners steal it away from them at the tail end? Okay, no head armor even for Exist. The best chance Sinners have to win this series comes now.
Oh, they're going to do it again. They're just going to do it again. This B pole, they're already through. They're already through. Monster Shock looks at the floor. Kisserek will be traded, but the flashbang is brilliant. Stressan and Shock arrive, and surely this is it now. A 4 versus 2 to put Sinners into this grand final, to deny a chance for KOLESIE to get to overtime. But Innocent will find B-Stick, and Shock has been neutralized by Friend. KOLESIE are fighting right to the death, and they leave. But Stressan's heard this, and immediately Modo can rotate, and the bomb is even caught by Stressan. Now Innocent needs to fall all the way back. Friend throws his hands above his shoulders. He can't believe it. He's been caught with the most valuable possession on Overpass, the C4. And now the in-game leader, one of the most experienced players here for KOLESIE, has to try and clutch up. And he's now got a timing, potentially on towards Modo, who is not looking at this angle, glances at it. Cursory, just for a moment. Innocent now walks through, tries to piece this together, but the time is now a brand new limiting factor, and Modo will re-peak, and Sinners will lock in that second grand final spot here at LORGAR Rankings Season 1.
Heartbreaking for KOLESIE, but for Sinners, a sigh of relief. That one gets very stressful. Stressan, a big moment at the end there to ensure it's the victory. A 2-0 fashion. Didn't expect Overpass to be the map that gave them